taught me that my place was anywhere but in front of people, anywhere but, telling stories, especially dirtier ones or, explicit ones. I think it was something that tried to sort of put me away. I was sort of lucky growing up in that, I didn't have, helicopter parents. Even though they were so Catholic, they were just so thrilled that I would be, reading anything. So I would check all kinds of stuff out from the library that was, super inappropriate, bringing Lolita on summer vacations and stuff. They just didn't know. They were, so happy that I was reading. So I hope that, parents will just, let kids read whatever, because I think it's good for them. I worked for about 3 or 4 years with a website called slightestcalm, and it's a sort of sex positivity blog, and the editor of it approached me one day, and we actually used to work together, but she approached me one day and asked if I would want to do erotic comics for the site, and I was definitely interested in the idea. I was a little bit afraid to do it because I think opening yourself up to the internet with that kind of material can be really risky and crazy sometimes. But decided to go for it and just started to write really short little stories, short little comics about women sort of having positive sexual experiences and enjoying those, and taking what I learned from looking at Guido Crepax and looking at Pellart and Jean-Claude Forest and Barbarella comics, and sort of putting that into new work was really exhilarating. It was really freeing, and yeah, that was a great experience. And I had a lot of people reach out to me and tell me that they enjoyed those comics, and we're actually going to be putting a collection of those out soon, so that'll be really cool. But yeah, that definitely folded into my other work and helped me put out a new story like My Pretty Vampire, which has sex in it pretty unapologetically. The future for me is I'm working on a new comic called Summer of Felines. I'm actually being supported through that process now on Patreon, which has been really great. And that's a story about a girl who is a findom, which is a new thing that I learned about online, of course. But it's basically it's financial domination. So it's new, sort of uncharted kink territory I'm super interested in. But it's about a girl who basically does sex work online, and she gets kidnapped, and all of her sort of followers come to rescue her. So it's sort of the opposite of the stories that I've been telling about escape and transgressing, and it's sort of about what it means to be rescued and to need help and that sort of thing. So I think it's going to go a bunch of different places that are really odd. So I'm excited about that.
Worship me!